It can be rather tempting to start buying silver when you see it going up rapidly in value because, of course, you feel like this is the time to buy. I don't want to miss out on the chance to get silver as cheap as it is right now. Let's say it's about to hit 50 or even $100 an ounce. There's a lot of people that say it's going to happen on YouTube, but of course, this doesn't really ever happen. And the truth is, when you want to buy silver, is the point in which it's at the lowest price possible in order to get the lowest dollar cost average. This means the amount that you're paying per ounce of silver that you have in your entire stack. Now, I do understand a lot of people buy for premium and they want pieces that are more collectible, and those can be bought at any time. And in fact, I'd say when silver prices are higher, those pieces are arguably better to buy because more of the focus is on the generic silver bullion. You have more people who are trying to get the most silver possible, and the premiums around silver bars, for example, that are even just generic pieces that are a dime a dozen in terms of design and rarity are actually, all of a sudden 20 or 30% more expensive than the silver content in them, just because there's more desire to buy silver itself. So in those times, buying collectible and premium pieces can actually be a really good way to allow yourself to have more flexibility in your stack and also to possibly even get a good deal because maybe there's a coin that's being a little bit underappreciated at that time of a lot more heightened interest around generic silver. So I'm definitely not going to say that you can't buy silver when the price is high or that you should buy silver in any particular way as if I'm some expert. But I do think that for somebody who's trying to build the biggest silver stack possible, it's definitely not opportune for you to start buying silver if you notice it's gone up in price dramatically. Because the truth about silver is that it goes up and down in cycles, and it doesn't really ever break $50 an ounce unless there's an absolutely insane amount of economic circumstance that leads to the situation. If we look at this graph, this goes back several decades, and you can see how much silver has gone up and down over time. It goes up into the 20, maybe even $30 range, and it'll go down as low as sometimes, I mean, I've seen it as low as $12 an ounce before. I remember, I think it was like February of 2020. And if you were to buy in that time, the time it was at the lowest, then you would be looking at a pretty good dollar cost average right now. Silver is around twice that price, and it's been holding pretty strong there. But if you were to buy when silver was as high as 27 or even $30 an ounce, then you would have actually lost some money even compared to the price that silver is at right now. And these prices are considered pretty good for silver. So you can see, as far as somebody who's trying to build a large silver stack, just how much can be gained or lost just from buying at the right times. And what I really think is important to consider is that you don't need to be buying silver all the time. You don't even need to be buying silver every month. What I would say is smarter is that any week where silver is not at a good price, you should put that money that you were going to spend on silver aside and just save it for when silver is at a good price and then make a larger purchase, and you'll actually probably have a better chance of getting a good deal because you're able to buy a larger quantity as well. Usually, if you go to especially like a large company and buy a larger quantity of silver from them, you're going to get a little bit of a cheaper rate. And if you're looking at eBay or just any seller that maybe like a local coin shop that has good deals or anything of that nature, then you're probably going to be able to get a good bulk deal as well. I mean, there's just nothing to be lost, excuse me, in saving up for when silver goes down in price. And I can promise you it's going to happen. I guarantee you are going to see silver decrease in price from where it is right now. And even at whatever point it gets to, unless it's at its absolute low, which will only last for a very brief period of time before it starts increasing again. That is just the nature of silver. It goes up and down, and it doesn't really, over a, I would say, at least short period of time, like 10, 20 years even, build that much in value if you look at the average price of it overall. And in fact, it does a much better job of just tracking inflation, especially when you look at prices of it from like the 90s and 80s, than it does of building you a ton of wealth or being an investment like the stock market is, for example. Yeah, the stock market, like you just invest in the whole thing. You understand what I mean, though. A stock on the stock market, or especially a cryptocurrency. Things of that nature can make or lose money very quickly. Silver is just not really like that, and it's not really that type of investment. And I've talked about that before, but ultimately, it is just a hedge against inflation. So it's really important to keep in mind that when you are buying silver, again, especially to build the biggest stack possible, that dollar cost averaging is extremely important. And like I said about the premium pieces, if you want to buy those, I think you can buy them anytime you really want, but you can really stand to gain a lot by diversifying into all types of silver, I believe. Obviously, I don't really have too much of variety going on here. These are all really like higher premium pieces, probably besides like these. But I definitely don't have much room to talk here, and I don't have a ton of silver really in general. I gotta get my stuff together because I definitely do want to build my silver stack, but I know you're not here to hear about that. So thank you for watching till the end if you did. Peace.